A lot of people believe that building muscle is meant to take a long time. The reality is that building muscle is all about locking in on the few things that matter and hammering those home. If you can do that for just a few short months, you are guaranteed to see results. The reason why people go to the gym for years and years, yet they look like they just started, is because most of the progress that they made has only happened in a short amount of time. And the rest of the time, they haven't really honed in on the right aspects to stay fit and build muscle. Thinking that building muscle is going to take a long time is a massive misconception in the fitness community. And today I'm going to break that down. First of all, look at anyone who's telling you they've been going to the gym for years and years, but they don't look like it, right? They don't look like it. You don't see the muscle mass. You don't see any kind of outstanding, exceptional physique. Ask yourself, when they've been going to the gym for this long, are they really locked in? Does this guy look like, he's really locked in on his training? He's really locked in on his training regimen. He's going consistently. He's making the gym a priority in his life. Ask yourself, is that really, what you see? Or is this guy going to the gym just as a habit, just as a passive part of his life? It's something he enjoys, it's kind of cool. It's a good, healthy habit. But he's not, super serious. He's not super dedicated and regimented. He doesn't look like, he's a man on a mission in the gym. Ask yourself, which of these two do you think is the kind of person that he is? Now, I'm going to tell you, most people who go to the gym fit into the first category, the category where it's like, you're just a casual lifter. You go because, it helps your mental health. You go because it's a good habit that you built up over the years. You enjoy going to the gym. It's a good physical exercise. It makes you feel good about yourself. Those people can retain those benefits. I'm not saying they can't, but there's a difference between doing that and going to the gym like a man on a mission, with a structured regimen. You're going with, extreme dedication. You're making the gym a priority. You're showing up every day no matter what. You're training hard every day no matter what, because that's who you are. That's your identity. You're understanding that for these few short months, this is absolute lock-in time. You're fully focused, you're fully locked in. This guy won't make gains past, maybe the noob phase. He'll make noob gains. This guy, he's going to demand his body growth. He's going to make it so that it's impossible that his body does not grow. He's saying to his body, you either grow or die, because we're going that hard. That's the difference between the two of them. And this is where most people are, and this is where most people think that lifting is for them. Maybe you yourself are someone who's been going to the gym for quite a while, but you haven't been at this level yet. You've only been at this level where you're hitting the gym passively. You do it as a good habit, but you're not locked in and regimented. It doesn't take specifically any legendary genetics. It doesn't take steroids. It doesn't take 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't take anything like that. It just takes you being locked in, regimented, following a proper routine. That's what it's gonna take. You basically make it impossible for your body not to grow. A lot of people think their genetics are just impossible, they can't do it. Or they're just permanently skinny. They need to take steroids, whatever. The truth is that's just not the case. And the next thing is, a lot of people think that, it's gonna take a long time, years and years and years. It's not gonna take years and years and years. It only takes a few months of being extremely locked in. These people, they might have made some gains at some point in their lifting careers. I'm telling you, all those gains came from the 20% of the time they were locked in. 80% of their gains, or even more. I would say lifting is more, the 80-20 lifting, it's like more exaggerated. It's more like 90-10 or 95-5. Because lifting is really all about being locked in that last little bit of effort, right? So these guys who, the ones that I'm saying, they go to the gym but they don't look like it, they might have some gains. Those some gains came from that small amount of time when they were super locked in and motivated. Those couple of weeks where, they were extra motivated for whatever reason. Maybe they broke up with their girlfriend. They were extra locked in. Maybe they didn't have as many responsibilities. They didn't have as many distractions. Maybe they were, they didn't like the video game that they were playing, so they were more focused on the gym. Whatever the case is, for these guys, those gains that they have right now, those small amount of gains, came from a period of time, not over years and years of training like they think it is, but it came from a short period of time where they were more locked in than they normally are. And that's basically how this guy makes gains astronomically faster than these guys. For me, I made gains so fast. I made more gains in 3 months than basically anyone had in years and years of lifting. I remember I'd gone to the gym for maybe 5 or 6 weeks, and I posted a video of me doing bicep curls. Everyone's like, dude, what the hell? Like, you're jacked? Like, what's going on? And it was just like, Obviously, part of the reason was because like most people just thought of me as like, a skinny, timid, quiet brown kid. So they never expected to see, this kind of, the jump seem bigger. But also, yeah, it was just because, I was regimented, I was locked in on exactly what matters, and I was very motivated for a short period of time. I wasn't only motivated for that short period of time, but my point is, if you stay locked in for a few weeks, if you stay locked in for 10, 12 weeks, if you stay locked in for a couple of short months, you're going to make massive results. You think it's only me or something, like I'm special, I'm magical. So my first client, he gained, 27 pounds in 4 months that I was coaching him. He gained so much weight and muscle mass because, we were locked in, we were working together, regimented, and also he was extremely motivated to, see the progress. And, that's really amazing too, because, progress, it kind of snowballs. Because once you start seeing, the first little bit of gains, the first few pumps, you start to notice it getting bigger. Now you're like motivated. Now it's like, I'm starting to make progress. Am I just gonna like stay here? Am I gonna let it slip? Or am I actually gonna like double down, triple down, quadruple down, and actually see like, the most amount of growth I can see? That's really the magic of lifting. And, I hope everyone here can experience that at least once. Because, that's an amazing feeling. That's like the prime of the gym. I kind of missed that feeling, those days of seeing that kind of progress. But anyways, like I was saying with my first client, my friend, Martin, he made 27 pounds in 4 months. But bro, he made so much gains because he was stacking new gains as well as being extremely locked in. So I remember in the first 6 weeks, it was like 15 pounds, 20 pounds. So he made massive progress in that short amount of time. I also made that massive amount of progress. I've made that massive amount of progress, not only in the nude phase the first time, but the second big bulk that I did. In 4 months, I gained 25 pounds. Like I said, guys, it's not about that. It's about it's not about the time spent. It's not about having bad genetics, having poor diet. It's not about bad genetics. It's not about having poor weight gain genetics or a poor background. It's all about how regimented, how dedicated, how locked in you are. Anyone can do it. You can do it. If that sounds like something that you want some help with doing, you need some assistance, be sure to check out my coaching in the link below. I help guys make that transformation. I help guys build muscle, become magnetic, and change their lives. So if that sounds like of interest to you, be sure to go check that out. With that being said, guys, though, like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I help guys build muscle, become magnetic. Drop a comment with your thoughts in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.